From WFRB TV Local 5, your local election headquarters, this is Newsmaker Sunday with your host, Tom Zalaski.
Good morning. Welcome to Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. In July, the Democratic Party will meet in Milwaukee's Visor Forum to nominate their candidates for president and vice president. It begins on Monday, July 13th, runs through Thursday the 16th. 50,000 visitors are expected to be attending this event. The DNC is expected to have an economic impact of some $200 million. And this, by the way, is going to be the first time in more than a century that Democrats are going to nominate their candidate in a Midwest city other than Chicago. And joining us this morning to talk about the convention, Lasry. He is the finance chair of the Milwaukee 2020 Host Committee. Alex, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Exciting time in Milwaukee. What does a host committee do for a political convention?
So the host committee, I like to think of these conventions as almost like two conventions, and there are two separate entities. So there's the host committee that gets all the volunteers, raises all the money, and kind of serves as the local organizing effort to make sure that Milwaukee and Wisconsin is put on the map and seen as beautifully and wonderfully as we always know it does. And it's nonpartisan. The DNC side, they are the partisan entity, and anything that goes on in Visor Forum that has to do with delegates, transportation, they handle all of that. And so anything that happens outside the arena that has nothing to do with the delegates, that's done by the host committee, and everything inside is done by the DNCC.
And how did you get brought into this?
So I was one of the leaders of the bid effort, and being one of the owners of the arena, this was something that I thought was important. I got brought in, and also just being kind of like a citizen of Milwaukee. This to me was something that I wanted to be able to say, like, how can we put Milwaukee on the map, and how can we show the world that Wisconsin is this great state to live, work, and play. And I don't think we'll get a Super Bowl anytime soon because they're played in February, but there's no better time to come to Wisconsin than in the summertime. And so when we saw that there was a chance to get the convention, we went for it, and luckily we got it.
So what specifically is your duty? What's your responsibility?
So right now my responsibility is to help with the fundraising.
Okay.
So me and a staff of 3 to 4 are leading the fundraising efforts. We have to raise about $60 million to put on the convention. We feel like we're well on our way and that we'll get there. And one of the biggest things has been really the support of the Wisconsin community. And I think that's something that I think really showed the selection committee and the DNC that Milwaukee and Wisconsin was the place they wanted to come because of the interest and enthusiasm by not only the business community, but community leaders and bipartisan support from all of the local leaders on Democrat and Republicans.
So beside the fundraising aspect of it, what else goes into planning for this, an event of this magnitude?
Yeah, so there's going to be 50,000 people that'll come in, and there will be, again, as I said, think of it as two conventions. There's what goes on inside the arena, and that's all of the formal political nominating process and all of that. And probably about 15 to 17,000 people will go in for that. There's then another 40,000 people that'll be outside the arena, and that'll be going to events and parties and panels all around the state. There'll be somewhat, probably close to over 2,000 events that'll happen over these 4 days. So it is a monster effort, and it's something that I really think is not just about what goes on inside, but what goes on outside the arena, I think is just as important, especially for us being able to show everyone that Wisconsin is a place that you want to live, work, and play, and where you want to invest money for businesses and growth.
So how many people are helping you to put this whole thing on?
So,
approximately. I know you don't probably know right now at this early stage.
So the host committee probably has around 20 people on staff. Okay. And then the convention side right now is probably at around 30 to 50. And that could get as big as 200 people as we get closer to the event. So it's a monster effort. And then don't even forget all of the networks and media that'll come in. They could have close to 5,000 people here just working on the event themselves from all the networks. So it's a big effort, but it's also a big opportunity for Wisconsin to I think show all of us that, show everyone around the world that Wisconsin is a top-tier state, and that cities like Milwaukee, Green Bay, Madison are top-tier cities, and that need to be considered in the conversations with the Chicagos, New York, Austin, Denver.
Now, you're seeking out volunteers. Are you having trouble getting volunteers, or is this such a fantastic event that people are coming to you to say, how do I get involved in this?
So it's a mixture of both. So we're going to need 12 to 15,000 volunteers for the convention. And what we want is as many of those volunteers to come from Wisconsin, because what better people to show and to show the 50,000 people who are going to be coming here the greatness of Wisconsin. And for whenever they have a question about where to go or what to do, it's my hope that all of these volunteers will be the people that they go to. They'll be from Wisconsin and serve as incredible ambassadors for the state. And again, this is an opportunity to get people who, 50,000 people who are going to come here, millions of people who are going to be watching it on TV, to show them that Milwaukee and Green Bay and Madison, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, Appleton, you name it, that this is a place that you want to invest, and that this is a place you want to go to college. And so, when you look at what this has done for cities like Denver and Charlotte, conventions are, one of the greatest tools to increase, I think, economic opportunity across the state.
These volunteers, do they need some sort of a training period? How do they know what they're supposed to do? So
if you go to Milwaukee2020.com,
okay.
You can register to become a volunteer. You fill out an application or a form. And then what will happen is as we get closer, you'll go through a training. But you don't need any sort of formal training to volunteer for this. And again, it's 12 to 15,000 people. And so it's a lot of people that we need involved. But at Milwaukee2020.com, you go, you register, and as we get closer to the event, there will be some training. And look, our view is whether you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent, this is going to be the biggest thing that's come to Wisconsin in our lifetime. We want as many people from Wisconsin to be a part of it because it's cool and it's fun and it's exciting, and we want people from Wisconsin to give off that energy because that'll make everyone else that much more excited and enjoyable to be here.
You mentioned cool. Visor Forum. What is cool about that facility that the goers are going to enjoy about this convention?
Well, hopefully it'll be the home of the world
champion
champion Milwaukee Bucks. But otherwise, look, I think what's really neat about it is all the delegates are going to come in, and it's a big open arena. And it's a place where no matter where you are in the arena, you'll have a view into the bowl. All of the food there is local. So you've got, these local treats from Wisconsin that everyone will be able to feel. And so what's cool is you go into the arena and you've got, you feel like you're in Wisconsin and Milwaukee because of all the local places to go eat. The Panorama Club is an incredible space, and then you've just got all the hospitality space all around the arena. So I think it'll be really neat for everyone to be involved. You've then got the plaza and the Deer District surrounding it. So what I think is going to be more unique about this convention than other conventions is Visor Forum is right in the middle of downtown.
Right.
It's going to be easy to get out of the arena and go anywhere else in the city. And so I think travel time will be easy to get from one place to the next. So I think when you look at Visor Forum, one of the top-rated arenas across the country, being able to have that many people there see it, I think will make a lot of people want to come back to Milwaukee and to Wisconsin.
When you got word that Milwaukee was going to get the convention, was Visor Forum the first and only choice? Was it a no-brainer?
Yeah, look, when we were putting in the bid, one of the main parts of it was Visor Forum. The Bradley Center wasn't equipped to be able to handle a convention.
Sure.
And Visor Forum really, I think, showed the selection committee this is big time. I didn't realize that Milwaukee was home to the best arena in the country. And I think for us to be able to show that, I think showed, look, there's other great things about the entire state as well. We've got the hotel inventory. We've got incredible people here. We've got support from Republicans and Democrats. And we've got a really great city and outer areas that everyone can enjoy and be a part of. So I think when, Visor Forum kind of, I think, made us a serious contender, and then once they were able to see all the other parts and how connected the state is, I think it got everyone really excited.
The convention is coming, and we continue our conversation with the convention coming to Milwaukee right after this. Stay with us.